Great to be here. Great to be here.
So exciting, this 17th Pearl of Wisdom and the vibrant vitality. And I love your spin on it. You always give us a unique and interesting perspective. So I am excited to hear what's in store tonight. And Mynoo, I'll be handling the back room while you take care of us in the front end. And thanks again, everyone, for joining us tonight.
So there are a few people there in the back room, in the waiting room.
So we have Helene and David, which are always front and center. We love that you guys are joining us tonight. Thank you and welcome. Welcome, Nancy. Good to see everyone. And we have Connie joining. We have Joni joining. Nancy, so good to see everyone. Thank you guys always for being here. And tonight we're super excited. This is the 17th Pearl of Wisdom. Hello, Danette. And this Pearl of Wisdom is about vibrant vitality. So Mynoo will be taking us on a beautiful journey. Great to see everyone. I'm going to turn it over to Mynoo while I handle the back end, and excited to hear what Mynoo has to share.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. And hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good morning.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like middle of the night. It's 2:30 in the morning here in Berlin. And it's these pathways to vibrant vitality that have brought me here feeling vibrant. So very, very happy to share what these pathways are. Yes, it is the 17th pearl. I'm really excited that it is, given that every pearl of wisdom, the way it has been chosen and the way it has been brought together is such that each pearl enables us to create, in fact, co-create a world as a world that works for everyone, just like Bucky Fuller said. So here we are talking about vibrant vitality and the 7 pathways. I'm just going to go ahead and mute everyone just so that the sound recording is perfect. Okay. So Catherine, when you speak, you'll need to unmute yourself when you come in at the end. So the 7 pathways to vibrant vitality. The first actually is that the answer to vibrant vitality lies in the words. And it lies in the word vibrant. And really what it is referring to is vibration. It is our vibrations that provide the pathway, that give us the answer, that give us more than a clue to the vibrancy that we can experience as our vitality grows and increases. This pathway of vibration is it's almost like the door opener to vibrant vitality. If we had a mansion, and in that mansion, there was this, it's a magical, miraculous space, and you step into it and you experience vibrant vitality. The vibration is the gate. You open the gate and you step into the gate, and there may be a big drive and long drive or a long pathway that you're walking down. But the moment the gates open, it gives you access to your mansion where vibrant vitality becomes your reality. The exciting thing about each of these pathways is that how we get started on that pathway and how we get that cadence going. Like when you go for a hike, to begin with, you really develop a bit of a cadence. And once the cadence is developed, you can go up and down hills and it all feels really quite amazing. But that initial piece takes a little bit of effort. So similarly with this one, with this particular pathway, and it takes a little bit of effort to get that vibration going. And And the interesting thing is, because the second pathway is one of intention, and I would have thought intention would be the first pathway, and it isn't. The first one here for vibrant vitality is your vibrations. That's like the key that unlocks the door, and you open this door and you step on the path, and that is the path that leads you to the mansion of vibrant vitality. Now, the reason why this pathway is number one as opposed to the second one, which is intention, holding the intention of vibrant vitality, the reason why the vibration is number one is because there are so many yes but no buts associated with the intention of vibrant vitality. We've all had it. We've all held the intention of vibrant vitality at some point in our life and several times in our life, and there's something or the other that has come in that has taken us away from that. So what I'm being shown intuitively is the first step is to really up level your vibrations and up level it to whatever level you wish. You don't have to go completely to the highest vibration you can possibly be, and you can do that, but you don't have to. This one calls you to up-level your vibrations. And it's not difficult to up-level your vibrations. You really have to, all that is to be done is to focus in the moment. And you start looking at what is there around you that you can appreciate, what's there around you that makes you smile. However difficult a situation you may be, however challenging a position you may be, you will always find things. The closer you are to you, the easier it is for your physiology to up-level its vibration. When it comes to vibrant vitality, the physiology is it's really the driver here. Even though I'm talking about vibrations, there's a physiological shift that is called for when it comes to vibrant vitality. So in up-leveling your vibrations, that is the key thing to remember. Get yourself to look at what's there that you can be grateful for, that is really up close and personal. And it may just be even having the opportunity to think this way that has you experience vibrant vitality. This is a very important nuance. I'm going to start getting into, throwing in this little garnish of nuance wherever I'm guided. Because it is in the nuance that the secret of only doing 0.02% to get the full 100% benefit lies. So the secret nuance to this pathway is the up close and personal. Because when you achieve a shift in the vibration of your physiology, for this particular pearl, all other aspects of full spectrum wellness come along. For vibrant vitality, it is a physiological shift that is the one that opens the doorway to mental, emotional, spiritual, social, and environmental realms of full spectrum wellness. So here, your only intention is to get on that pathway. You have the key to open the gateway to your mansion of vibrant vitality, where vibrant vitality is the reality. And the key is you up-leveling the vibrations of how you're feeling physiologically. You may choose to do something like, maybe of a movement, or it may just be focusing on the breath. So many of you here do the beyond meditation, so you're aware of the 9-4-6 breath. That gets you into a centered space, and from that centered space, you can look at what's going on around you that is really close and personal to you, that you appreciate. And the deeper your connection to the appreciation, the more expansive the experience of vitality. And in the B book, which is a book that I've written, it's available as an audiobook as well, you will find in the section which has got the B tools, a collection of ways in which you can uplevel your vibrations. The key thing here is to keep a handle on the nuance. So often, and I did that myself when I first started focusing on, what can I appreciate that's going on in my life? And I would go to, my intellect, my ability to connect the dots and all those kind of things, which are all really great, yes. But they were still, associated with examples from way back when or something that was in the future. I wasn't present to the present. So applying the key to up-leveling your vibrations to the present and applying it to your presence, just literally, that's it. It's like you've opened the door, you've catapulted straight into being inside the mansion. So the secret to vibrant vitality lies in your vibrations, up-leveling your vibrations. That's the key that opens the doorway, opens the gate, and you step on this pathway. Now, when you are looking at up-leveling your vibrations, once you've up-leveled your vibrations, it's quite useful to write them down. Remember, even in the act of writing, in yoga or meditation, you've heard them talk about, touching the tips of your forefinger and your thumb, and then holding it like that on your lap, and that brings about that space of concentration. It's called the Dhyana Mudra or the Jnana Mudra, that literally opens your connection to cosmic wisdom as well as provides concentration. When you're writing, it is you are bringing about an activation of those acupressure points. So it's a physiological act. So if you can take the time to write everything that you can appreciate, the activation is much faster. And if you can't, you can't. You can hold this and then be thinking about it. But writing really does connect different parts of the brain, because, as you're writing, whatever it is that you appreciate, there are these little cells and little centers in the brain that are linked to all these different forms of appreciation, different emotions. The act of writing what it is that you appreciate, and particularly when you're focusing on up close and personal, so much of self-doubt just automatically starts to dissolve. Because there are sections of your brain that get activated. I did not appreciate this, the sections of the brain part, particularly, connecting them to the words we use, until my ex-partner had a massive stroke. And the stroke was such that he lost his communication ability. So what was in his mind was not necessarily what was coming out of his mouth, and he developed a particular brain condition as a result of that. But in his treatment is where I started understanding what was happening with the brain. I mean, he literally went from, being a captain of industry to becoming this child full of curiosity and wonder at every little new thing that was opening up, because he was learning, to live his life again. He didn't have any remorse or anything, because those sort of things also disappeared with what had happened. Everybody around him felt that, but he didn't. He was in the state of childlike wonder. Now, it took him a while to relearn, including tastes of food and textures and appreciation. But there was a collection of phrases and words, particularly to do with romance and sensuality, that were exactly the way they were before. It was like, this is so weird. When I spoke to his doctors, they explained that, okay, these are this is the section of the brain where these words reside. And this is a section of the brain where some other words reside, right? Grief and self-doubt and stuff. And they were all like completely wiped out, and so it was a clear slate. We had some fun recreating our aliveness together. But I really just, chose to, as I embarked on my journey of spiritual awakenings, I had like 7 days of silence where the focus was entirely on vibrant vitality. And there's a whole section in that silence wisdom, which is to do with the brain. And that would be something for another time. But in the context of the 7 pathways, ensuring that you are able to work with this nuance of being up close and personal as you expand your vibrations. Writing it, I know it has an effect in, as you write what you appreciate, those cluster of words, they open up, invoke, activate different centers in your brain. Your brain system is connected so well that connecting the dots happens automatically. And as these dots start to connect, the vibrational frequency of the words that you've written start to, like get reactivated. It's like a reaction that takes place, except it's a physiological and an energetic reaction that brings about that vibrant feeling of vibrant vitality. But really what it's doing is it's releasing self-doubt. So do it without compromise. It's a very simple game that I talk to people about. And many of you have done deeper programs with me, so you know those. One of those is a very simple A to Z. If you can't think of anything else, just pick your surroundings and just start writing or speaking aloud a word starting from each of the alphabets. So go from A to Z. And these are words that denote what you appreciate. So this pathway, the focus is entirely on up-leveling your vibrations, focusing very specifically on your physiology. The second pathway. The second pathway is about intention. So before we can go on to other pathways, it's time to establish for ourselves, what do we mean by vibrant vitality? So if I say I intend to experience vibrant vitality, what does that mean? Now I'm asking you to answer the question, what does that mean? Because this is something that your mind is going to be very engaged in. And it is the mind that is the meaning-making machine. And the premise for the mind to create meaning lies in the past and the future. It informs itself from the past and it is focusing on the future. Neither of those are real, but it does that. It does that because its role is to ensure that we continue to survive and to preserve this human form. So the moment I say to you, okay, the second pathway is intentionality, your intention to achieving vibrant vitality. Ask the question, what do I mean by this? Your mind is engaged. In my world, you know, it may be an illusion or whatever, I don't care. It's there. It's very real, its impact is very real. So I bring it along. Bring the mind along with you. Ask the question, what do I mean by vibrant vitality? What does it mean for me? And here you are now starting to place the order of all the different facets that come together to generate the experience of vibrant vitality for you. For me, when I did this work, what did I mean? And answering the question, what do I mean by vibrant vitality? For me, it was all aspects of my life coexist with ease, grace, and joy. So if I only focused on losing weight, my pet um, New Year's resolution for decades, I could work really hard at it. All that was occurring was I was in this yo-yo effect. And that aspect of my life would be worked on and it would exist at certain points. However stressed I got, it didn't matter. And the stress started showing up in emotional frustration, anguish, anxiety, which started showing up in terms of disconnecting from the spiritedness of aliveness that lit me up. Lightness of being disappeared. The social dynamics became one of command control, being the boss, working with workers type thing. And I lost complete connection with the environment. I would just be very focused, winning the do race. There was no vibrance, and there were only spurts of vitality. So when I said, okay, what do I mean by vibrant vitality? And I said, all aspects of my life coexist with ease, grace, and joy. That was the starting point. I liked that. Now, once you've got the answer, and remember, you can go around the houses and write this, that, or the other, go on a drunken walk. But literally, what do I mean by vibrant vitality? There'll be a sentence or two that'll come instantly. Then you can go embellish it and elaborate on it. But get that first gist to begin with. And I love working with a list of questions. So what do I mean by vibrant vitality? Okay, what does it actually look like when I have that? Where all aspects of my life coexist with ease, grace, and joy. What does that look like? In answering that question, what does it look like? I literally looked at the environment outside of me initially. And then I went deeper into what do I look like if I'm in that space? I have since understood the importance of our sensory organs. Sure, they give us a sense of sense, like being able to see, being able to taste, being able to hear, touch, and smell. All of that is there. But having our sensory capacities, really in tune with what is it that we are actually seeing? What is it that we are actually hearing? Shifting from hearing to listening. Being with the taste, being with the flavor of what we've just tasted. discovering it, uncovering it. Going on an adventure to, you know, define the fragrance that we're just smelling, experiencing the touch rather than just touching something outside, really receiving the touch. All of those things are ways of supporting the accentuation of vibrant vitality. So what does it mean? What does that actually feel like? What does that actually look like? What does that actually taste like? When I'm in that experience of vibrant vitality. You're now starting to create the lay of the land that is you in your vibrant vitality. The intention is becoming anchored. Now, just as important as it is to understand what it means to experience vibrant vitality, it is equally important to know what it feels like when you are not in that experience. So in walking this pathway, you also go into what is that experience of not having this vibrant vitality? What does that actually feel like? And here you're really jotting down or making a note of, it could be a mental note even, of what are the things that make it feel uncomfortable, where you're not in that space. And you can return to the yumminess again, where you just imagine, what if it was all here right now? Okay, I get it. This is what I mean. This is what it looks like when I am in that space. This is what it feels like. And this is what it feels like when I'm not in that space. Okay, got it. So what if I take this, if the next step I take, and you can literally stand up and take a step forward, I am inside my mansion of vibrant vitality. And when you take that step forward, I always say a physiological anchoring. The moment you take that step forward and you say, okay, here I am, I'm there, you are actually putting the stake in the ground, anchoring vibrant vitality in your current reality. So that intention is anchored in your current reality. And this is a very important pathway, because when that intention is anchored, the next time you go into up-leveling your vibrations, that anchoring of that stake in the ground of vibrant vitality is the natural space from which you'll begin. So immediately, in no time at all, a physiological shift will take place. That up-levels your vibration and off you go. So now that you know what it means and what it looks like, feels like, sounds like, smells like, tastes like, experiencing vibrant vitality, the intention is there, and you have taken some very positive steps to start dissolving self-doubt. Often self-doubt provides the undertone. So the third pathway is really engaging with the different undertones. Because it is these undertones that we subconsciously so want to avoid when it comes to vibrant vitality, that inadvertently, unbeknown to us, but very much known to the universe, our energetic attention is on that which we wish to avoid. So the third pathway is getting familiar with your undertones so that you actually can release them and move forward without the undertones. Because really what you are wanting to capture is that pure essence of vibrant vitality. So this sort of undertones. Yeah, for me, it was like, oh, all of that is great, but it's so hard for me to lose weight. With all this weight, I can't possibly have vibrant vitality. I can have spurts of it. For others, it'll be, oh, that was all great when I was younger. It's not available to me now. Age is catching up. Or it could be for some, this is my time to indulge. I'm young and I can do whatever with all of these indulgences. It's difficult to really experience vibrant vitality. We'll do the best I can. Or if only, the government did something to improve the quality of air. If only they'd stopped adding fluoride in the water. And if only they didn't push us to get vaccinated. If only there was a drive to ensure everyone was vaccinated. Whatever. The thing to remember is the undertone. And each undertone has a different flavor of a vibrant vitality depleter energy. They all culminate in the negative connotation of fear, ultimately. The fear that we may never achieve vibrant vitality. So there is a collection of justifications. How to access your undertones is to look for persistent complaints about this area of vibrant vitality, or the lack of it, or the impediments to it. If only my partner didn't speak too much, or if only he spoke more than he does, or whatever it may be. Whatever are your persistent complaints in this area of vibrant vitality, give you a very good hint of the undertone. Because the undertones and these persistent complaints are what provide you a collection of justifications for staying away from the vibrancy of vibrant vitality. So getting to know your undertones may sound like it's a depressive thing. The more you get to know it, to me now, it's like, oh, I see, this is what's happening. The moment I get to know it and remember, in some of the previous pearls, I've talked about acknowledgement. And certainly beyond meditation, I talk about acknowledgement. The secret to dissolving the roots of the weeds of these undertones lies in acknowledging them. You acknowledge the truth of these undertones exactly as they are, stark naked. There's nothing more to do other than to acknowledge it. And you're acknowledging it. You stop beating yourself up. You've actually said the truth about it. In your acknowledging it, it weakens. And you can adopt the unconditional acceptance practice to then move forward. But the undertones, and you will have your collection of undertones, they provide the depleters. The fourth pathway is to know that it is a journey. It's a journey to vibrant vitality. And it's a journey that you do with the universe. And there are other collaborators and co-creators with you. It's a collaborative journey to And it's a regenerative journey. This is the other thing. With vibrant vitality, it's not a one-off thing. It's not about doing this, that, or the other, and you have it. And then it's sustained. Well, maybe it won't be sustained. And as we saw when the whole corona lockdowns and all of that began, 2020 certainly showed us some of these things. We may be in a completely blissful state, and then the world came to a standstill, and we all had different reactions and responses to it. With vibrant vitality, it's a journey that can make it regenerative. And it's a journey that you do not do alone. It is a collaborative journey. Even if you wish to go it alone, it is a collaborative one. So here, given that it is a collaborative journey, you've already established the intention of taking that journey. You now have started releasing, some of the key impediments through the dissolving of the undertones. You're now ready to look at who are my collaborators with this. What is my collaborator? And in the who, okay, it's a collection of people as well as the universe. In the what, it would be your environment. It could be certain practices. It could be putting in some concerted effort in taking lots and lots of inputs of data that have already been coming to you or coming at you, converting that into information, into knowledge, into wisdom, so that you can land in a knowing. And landing in a knowing about vibrant vitality, data points, is going to be an important way of making it regenerative. So the fourth pathway is that it is a regenerative journey. Finding the collaborators that will collaborate with you along the way. And these collaborators change. There may be a collaborator like a personal trainer at one point, and then there's a collaborator to a full spectrum living at another point. There's a collaborator to your journey into miracles at another point. So depending on where you are in your life, when you take this on and you step into this pathway, and seriously, follow the pathways. There is a sequence to the pathways that makes this journey an easier endeavor and one that can be filled with joy and grace. Do not begin it without actually understanding your collaborators. I am not using the phrase co-creators because that's the next pathway I'm about to talk about. Here the focus is on collaborators. So it could be a buddy, an accountability buddy. It could be a support structure where you want your family members to not bring stuff and load up the fridge of things that you really wish to avoid. So you choose, but here your focus is collaborators. It is a journey you do with collaborators, and it's great to get to know who these collaborators are. Now, once you know who these collaborators are, what is going to constitute this collaboration, you can look at what is it that I want from these collaborators, and how do I wish to receive it. So for example, one of the collaborators could be in the context of weight loss or whatever it might be. It would be someone who actually motivates you and keeps you on track. and doesn't buy into your BS. Now, how you wish to receive it is in a motivating way, inspiring way, as opposed to beating you down to a pulp, making you wrong way. It's just as important to get clear on how you wish to receive the collaboration as it is to actually know who your collaborators are. Now, in the context of collaboration, you've heard me say this many times, that our physical presence is only a small fraction of our full existence on this planet. So your own body, your own higher self, your own mental state, all of that is a collaborator in this journey. And then from that arise other people outside of you, other circumstances, other practices outside of you that support you. They become your collaborators. It does begin with you. And also knowing that there are many facets of you that come together in providing the experience of being you. So many times we don't experience ourselves being ourselves. So as you embark on the collaborator piece, I mean, that was a wonderful surprise for me to get. I got to know what it was like being me. I got to know what it was like being with me being me. And it felt good. The interesting thing is when you do this work and you go into who are my collaborators, what is it that I want them to collaborate with me on, you become clear about the ask. You become explicit about how you wish that ask to be delivered. So that also is a part of the ask. You also step into knowing that really what you're doing is making a request. And the request can be denied. The person may say, I don't accept that request. In which case, you know what type of a collaboration you are looking for from this collaborator, you can find someone else. But when we have that lack of clarity and someone refuses, first of all, they don't know what you are asking. So they refuse whatever perception they have created. So that lack of clarity is multiplying. And then it becomes very personal. You become attached to the meaning you gave that refusal. But when you approach it in this way, okay, I hold the intention. I'm on this pathway. I step into this journey of vibrant vitality and I'm going to have collaborators. It's going to be more than one collaborator. And this is what I want. And this is these other people that can provide me that. I'm going to make that ask. And this is how I'd love for them to deliver it. And if they say no, I'll find someone else. But really what's happening is you are getting all aspects of you to become your collaborative force to this journey of vibrant vitality. Following these pathways in the sequence brings about the strength in your inner core that brings all of you together. You get to know all of you as well. So there is not just the physical desire and a choice that you've made, there's a mental relaxation around it. And there's an emotional togetherness about it. And there's a connection to the spirit of vibrant vitality here. And you are on this journey of addressing the social dynamics and creating an environment that is conducive to this journey. Then we go to the next pathway. The next pathway is to get to know your co-creators. So not all collaborators will be your co-creator. And you may not need any other co-creator other than you and the universe. It's really important to know that. When you embark on your journey of vibrant vitality, differentiating between a collaborator and a co-creator is important. Now, if there is someone that you've enrolled, like, the journey to miracles, I am your co-creator there. But for many other situations, you don't need necessarily another human. It could be just you and the universe. And even if there is another human for a period of time, the universe is always there, co-creating with you. Now, here's the thing, your co-creators bring whatever it is that you've intentioned into your current reality. They are a stand that this has occurred. A co-creator has the ability to operate from a state of resolve. So very important to be discerning in this pathway and choosing who is your co-creator. Do they stand in their resolve of what it is that they are co-creating with you? Is there complete yumminess when you think of them as your co-creator in this journey of vibrant vitality? There is no yuckiness. And if there is does that yuckiness relate to a question that you want clarification on? And once that clarification is received, you can move forward. You decide who is your co-creator. When it comes to the co-creator, there is only the who question that requires to be answered. Because the co-creator comes from a state of resolve. They operate in the way they operate to fulfill their resolve. So there is no how you wish them to co-create. They come from a state of stand, where they've taken a stand for you to experience the fullness of vibrant vitality. So when it comes to miracles, and expecting and accepting miracles becoming the norm for you, and I'm a co-creator in that, I come from that resolve that humans and humanity is stationed in whole and complete, expecting and accepting miracles as their norm. And that is the reality for me. I'm holding that stand with you. And I am a co-creator. Sometimes I'm a mentor, other times I'm a coach, other times we do things together. Because that enables you to learn step by step until you can go forth and have expecting and accepting miracles as your norm. So similarly with vibrant vitality, who are your co-creators? And it may just be the universe. So for me, when I embarked on my journey of expecting and accepting miracles as the norm, I was far, far from that. I mean, this whole idea of miracles, I mean, that phrase itself, made me cringe because I came from such a logical frame of mind that suddenly I'm like landed as this is your gig. Well, I had to understand this miracle stuff myself. So who could be my co-creator? I was actually embarrassed even talking about it to anyone. So my co-creator at that point in time, I'd started to get to know the universe a little bit more, became the universe. And I unpacked every little piece of what it meant, what miracles mean. Something beautiful that occurs that makes your heart sing. It took me many, many hours to arrive at what that means. So you will find that for yourself in the context of vibrant vitality. The first person to take a stand for you achieving it is you. And you come with your co-creator, the universe. The moment you choose something that is a choice you make for you, the universe comes in. It's a package deal. And the universe comes from a resolve that whatever it is that you wish to achieve and cause and make happen in this lifetime through this human form is done. So it has a way in which it operates. It operates by applying a multiplier effect to whatever it is that you're vibrating. And it knows that your conscious awareness can fritter here and there. So it plugs itself into all of your senses. And hence the undertones and all of that become very important cues and signals for the universe. The universe is the co-creator. Who else is the co-creator with you in your journey into vibrant vitality? Here's a thing to understand, that choosing a co-creator calls for a certain level of discernment, because a co-creator the job does not become the job of the co-creator. The co-creator brings in their element. They come from a state of resolve and they do what they do best. They don't start doing it for you. And you may choose to, like I did, unpack different elements of what vibrant vitality means to you, like which you've already done in the previous pathways. And you may choose that for the next 9 months, this person is going to be my co-creator. Knowing that the universe is always there. So the nuance here is understanding the difference between collaborators and co-creators. Co-creators never do it for you. They come from a state of stand that they have taken for you to emerge into your full presence of vibrant vitality. Catherine, are we on number 6 pathway? You'll need to unmute.
Yes, number 6 is the co-creator. So we're on to number 7.
On to number 7. The 7th pathway is the pathway of, it's the pulse of vibrant vitality. So you will define what is the pulse for you to know that you are experiencing vibrant vitality. And remember, in the previous pathways, you've already really discerned, the intention of vibrant vitality, what that looks like, what that feels like, what that sounds like. You've already done all of that. So this 7th pathway is your finger on the pulse. And here, for me, I created a game. When I discovered the whole be lifestyle, being as a way of having as opposed to engaging in endless doing, I chose different ways in which I was naturally being when I was experiencing vibrant vitality. So here's where you can start creating your collection of words, which could be your be words. If you're being this way, then you're on your path to vibrant vitality. And it's a pretty interesting pulse to have your finger on, all right, choosing these be words. Because here's what happens. When you choose a be word, I ask you to define what that actually means. So for example, if I say I'm being magical, my definition of being magical is a state where I'm smiling a lot and have a spring in my step and experiencing lightness of being. So when I'm in that state, I know I'm being magical. So with regards to the pulse, rather than say, you already know the 10,000 steps and this and that, eating certain types of foods, you know all of that. For the nuance in this pathway is choose your B words as your pulse and have a collection of B words and define what they are. Because in the definition lies your evaluation that you are actually on track to vibrant vitality. And it is this pulse pathway that ensures you are on track. It ensures that vibrant vitality is regenerative. It also ensures that vibrant vitality is a sure shot access point to boosting and building your thriving instinct. So survival is taken care of in all areas in a full spectrum way. And that's why I say when it comes to the pulse of vibrant vitality, use the B words as a way of having access to that and keeping you on track. The B words also, what they do is they provide a very powerful context. Like every day, if you have a B word, there's several of you here with whom, I've run the game of the B lifestyle, where we go on a 7-day B plan. And so it's pretty cool. You choose your B word every single day. You define what that is. And you just evaluate every hour or every few hours that you are being that way. Allow the doing to flow. So when it comes to vibrant vitality, by the time you get to pathway number 7, there is so much that you've already done that you could be doing, that the doing will occur anyway. When it comes to keeping a finger on the pulse, use the B word, because every time you are being something, like every time I'm being magical, I'm really boosting certain aspects of vibrant vitality in my being. It's pretty cool. It's really amazing. And it's so much fun because the doing just flows. So create your collection of B words and also use the B word approach, the B lifestyle approach as a very proactive way in which you further accentuate the experience of vibrant vitality. How wonderful to have a pulse that, the health of that pulse makes you even healthier. The better you become at using the B words as a way of assessing how you are doing on the pathway of vibrant vitality, on your journey into vibrant vitality, the more success you have with it. Because it is be and you have. Doing flows. That is simply so. You don't even have to work it. It is simply so. It's just that we don't consciously choose how we are being. But you are being. Even when you choose to not do it consciously, so you may as well be conscious about it and do it very proactively. So these are the 7 pathways to vibrant vitality in such a way that you step into the realm of thriving, boosting and building a thriving instinct, and it's regenerative. Never ending. Brings that joie de vivre that comes when you operate from that complete, perfect connection to your soul essence. Because that's limitless. You have a limitless supply and access to vibrant vitality. Over to you, Catherine.
Thank you, Mynoo. Thank you so much. You know, what an interesting perspective. I always pride myself in being the pro at vitality from a wellness perspective. And boy, have I learned a few things tonight. So thank you for this very interesting perspective. It's always from my point of view, more of the doing. And I'm loving this idea of, wow, being on the journey and kind of like a scientist uncovering the flow. So thank you so much for that, Mynoo. And I don't know how everyone else felt, but I just feel totally like revitalized from having this conversation. And if you'd like to share your words in the comments, that would be great. I will read those to Mynoo. Just love, love, love these pearls of wisdom. They just keep getting juicier and juicier. And Mynoo, I just think it's such, you know, it's such practical information, and yet it's always a wow, and it's always an aha. It's like aha and a wow. It's like, so I'd love to share these words with Mynoo if you'd like to just put those in the chat. I know for me it's an aha meets wow, I guess, for tonight.
Wow.
Okay, here we
That's
go.
amazing, Catherine. Aha, me too. Wow.
That's what I got. I thought I knew it all in this area, and I'm like, I don't know a thing. So thank you for that. Okay, so flowing with the perfect vibration. Absolutely. I feel more vitality than ever. It's so regenerative. Yes, yes, yes. Flowing vibrance. Love that. It makes it so easy, and just this whole idea of ease, grace, and joy with the flow, Mynoo. It's all connected, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. So that's great. We've come to the end of our Pearl of Wisdom. I'm going to go get some sleep in the meantime.
What time is it there for you, Mynoo?
It's 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how you're doing it. Well, I'll just share a couple more words before we let you go. But thank you, Mynoo. I mean, it's just extraordinary that we get to be with you every week and share in this incredible knowledge. Okay, here we go. A few more. Wow. Can't wait to explore the journey into vibrance. I needed to hear this message. Me too, Renelle. I agree. Yummalicious. Oh, that's my new favorite word. Keep your finger on the pulse. I am feeling revitalized too. I am feeling the being vibration. Tomorrow I am restarting choosing a daily be word with its meaning. What a great practice. I agree. I'm not going to look at that book on my shelf anymore. I'm taking it down. New paradigms, new perspectives, new directions. Thank you. Oh, love you, Mary. And we have such an extraordinary journey. Well, thank you all so much. I think we should let Mynoo get some rest before she's at it again. We'll be back Saturday morning, and we will see you here next Thursday for the 18th Pearl of Wisdom. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.